So the first step is create a sense of urgency. Let me explain. Typically, and I'll use a personal example here, the more familiar we get with something, the more we take it for granted. And that goes for everything. The more familiar we get with our intimate partner, the more we take him or her for granted. The more familiar we get with our workplace, the more complacent we get in our job. And what keeps us on our toes, what keeps us moving forward in life, personally and professionally, is a sense of urgency. And a sense of urgency is the belief and the internalized belief that one must continue to make progress in order to be successful and happy. So I define success as both the process of achieving things and the experience of enjoying the achievement. There's a two-step process. It's the science of achievement, the process of achieving things, and the experience of enjoying this process of achievement. Together, when someone has both of those things, I believe that they're truly successful. And a sense of urgency is the internalized belief that in order to be truly successful in the way I just described, we need to continually improve. We need to continually change. We need to continually make progress towards our goals. Because at the end of the day, the point of any goal is not actually achieving the goal and having that thing or that new job or whatever. It's really the process of accomplishing that goal that makes us better people and gives us satisfaction. However, as a result of being in a position for a long time, or just doing things in a very routine sort of way, people become complacent, and the more they become complacent, the less they feel internally that they need to take action, that action is necessary. Think about older people, more mature people who have retired. They're no longer in the workforce. They no longer have demands being placed on them for earnings, for financial support from their family. They have reached kind of a homeostasis that most of us would describe as desirable. But when you look at the lives of these retired people, there's a great degree of complacency. And when you ask them to make a decision, or you ask them to go do something or go change something, it always seems like their answer is, I'll think about it, not today, tomorrow. It's that complacency that is a killer for a person trying to make a change. So the first step in creating personal or professional lasting change on an individual level is figure out what in your life will light a fire under your butt and give you that internalized belief that things have to change now. And so different people use different tools. In my business, we call it getting leverage on yourself. Just like when, if you're trying to move something very heavy, often it's difficult to do that with just your bare hands or, with your own personal force. So you go to your garage or whatever, and you find a tool that you can use to get leverage on this heavy object that you're trying to change, that you're trying to move. And a lever can be, anything. It can be a long piece of wood. It can be a forklift. It can be anything that gives you extra capacity, extra capability to move this heavy object. Your beliefs, your habits, your routines, your rituals, all of those are heavy to lift, heavy to move, lots of inertia objects in your life. They're intangible in many ways, and the tool is not always obvious, but there is something in your life that you can find and use as a tool, as a source of leverage to move that heavy, immovable inertia out of the way. For example, I have a client who is a smoker, was a smoker, I should say, was a smoker. And this person came to me and was not really sure that they wanted to quit. And this person had a family, had 2 daughters. This person had a job. This person really liked smoking. This person felt like it was a part of their identity. It was a source of relaxation. It was an excuse to socialize with other people. And when this person came to us, he was not really ready to quit. And so what we did in the initial assessment is we identified sources of leverage to create a sense of urgency in his life, so that when the time came to change, when we started our work together in the office, that the motivation was there, the sense of urgency was there, the openness was there, the desire to make this a part of their life was there. It didn't negate the fact that he liked the smoking and liked the socialization and liked the opportunities to relax and so on and so forth. It didn't erase those facts, those realities. But what it did is it created a new sense of urgency towards moving in the direction of being a non-smoker. For this individual, the daughters were obviously a source of leverage. The relationship with the spouse was obviously a source of leverage. And there were a couple of other things that were, in there, but much smaller. So personal relationships were very important to this individual. And once we identified those, what was most important to him, in the actual sessions, in the actual appointments, we amplified the imperative, amplified the sense of urgency to become a non-smoker in order to maintain those very important relationships to him. Different people are going to have different things that are important to them. So your personal source of leverage that is going to get you out of complacency and into a sense of urgency is going to be different and unique to you. So it is up to you to work with yourself, use journaling, use a coach, use hypnosis perhaps to get yourself into that frame of mind and document what your sources of leverage are that will allow you to have a sense of urgency. And once you have that, you need to build a group of supportive people that will help you to craft your strategy.